Well, hello there and welcome to Josey's Art School. I wanted to do a little play with owls and oil resist, water resist, creating kind of a silhouette. And I'm always looking for art that I can share with you that you could feel proud to either display in your home or gift to a friend. So what you'll need some copy paper, some crayons, so I'm using a piece of copy paper so you can see it exactly as you would with your everyday household items in your house. Crayons, if you have oil pastels, that's great. Watercolor paint, tempera paint, or acrylic paint. But at least a blue in the oil pastel or crayon and in the watercolor paint or the acrylic paint. So once you have those things, you can pause me and come right back. But I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first thing you're going to do is this is an 8.5 by 11 piece of paper. I'm going to fold it in half. And then I'm going to fold it back down. So you should see my crease there. And what you're going to be doing is you're going to draw this above that crease. Okay, so I'm going to put a pin here so it doesn't move around as we're drawing. Okay, and so what we're going to do, I'm actually not even going to use any pencils or pens today. I'm going to use the crayons and the oil pastels. And what you're going to do is you're going to first draw the branch of the tree that the owl is going to sit on. So you want to draw it near the fold. And nothing too fancy, right? So you just want the tree branch, maybe branch out with a stem. You can add a leaf there if you want to. I am using an oil pastel, but again, this can also work with a crayon. And then from here, you're going to go ahead and add the owl. Now the owl, in order to get the effect that we're trying for, you don't want to make super intricate shapes. You want to make it just as simple as you can. So for example, you're going to create like a heart shape for the face. And then the body. Adding the wings. You can add wings on both sides, or you can have it where it's sitting to the side. And it can overlap a little bit if you want it to. And then making the eyes. And then the beak. All right, so then from here, so it's a very, very basic shape. And again, we're going for basic because the wow factor is going to be when we start to add that silhouette to the bottom. So it looks like it's looking in the water. Okay, so I'm going to get my paint brushes and my watercolor paint together. Feel free to pause me if you need to. Okay, so you're going to go over the lines using either your blue oil pastel or your blue watercolor paint. Whoops, my palette fell, it seems. I'm going to use watercolor paint, and I'm actually going to use a little bit of oil pastel. So you're going to take your blue, you're going to start to add it in. Again, we're going to try to make a silhouette that matches perfectly below the line as it does above the line. So at this point, if you want it to make it look like you've got the stars in the sky or even a moon in the sky, you would go ahead and add that in as well. And you want your watercolor paints, if you're using watercolor paints, to be pretty wet, right? Now, not so wet that it tears your paper, but wet enough so that when we transfer it, there's some paint that is available to transfer to the bottom of your page, okay? So there's my watercolor paint there. I'm going to add a little bit of black to the owl's body. Okay. And again, just almost like a monochromatic color. You don't want it to be too many colors, so it really gets that nice effect when we create that silhouette. Okay, I'm actually going to add in now a little bit of blue acrylic paint. And I would say if you want to do a third color, that is definitely fine. But I would say think about what color you would like to do. So if you would like to do, this is my acrylic paint here, if you would like to have a little more accent on the branch, maybe use brown. If you would like to accent the moon in the sky, then use the yellow. If you'd like to accent the maybe leaves on the tree, go ahead and use that green, or if you want an autumn look to it, maybe add a little bit of red. Okay. Even if you wanted to do something super subtle like the beak, and create the beak with a with orange. All right. So again, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of brown to the branch. And this is again using my watercolor paint. Okay. So once you have, the basic silhouette and you're satisfied with it, I would then go around just maybe one more time with your details. So using your oil pastel or using your crayon, go around a little more around, and not too harshly, because again, if you're using copy paper, this could easily tear. You don't want it to do that. And you want to do it fast enough so that the watercolor paint and the acrylic paint or the tempera paint that you're using does not dry. Okay. So again, this is a nice, fast, easy gift idea, which you could just throw in a frame from your local, even your local drugstore. And it just has a fun look to it. So from here, once you're done, you're going to take your bottom half of your paper and you're going to press it over the top of the area that you just painted. Now, if you have something like, I'm using the back of my paint, you could also use what we call a brayer or a roller. And you just want to make sure you've hit every area before you fold it down. All right, are we ready to see the results? Oh, I know, this is the nerve-wracking part. Okay, here we go. And, right, you can see it a little bit. So what I would do is, if you find this as well, where you didn't get as much as you would have liked, I would then go back through again and I would just add more paint in those areas. So here I am, I'm going around it with the acrylic paint. And again, probably not take as long to to fold it, right? It probably all dried, just because you pretty fast drying. I'm very used to being in classrooms with kindergartners, preschoolers, and there usually is so much paint on their paper. This happens very easily, let's just put it that way. And unfortunately, when you're used to being in that environment, you're used to having an excess of paint, but then of course you go home and you do it on your own, and there's not as much paint sitting there. All right, so this time I'm going to go around using my black tempera paint. So learn from me. I'm going around my owl again, adding in those features that I want to accent. Make sure there's a little extra paint on my brush. Maybe go in and add some details that maybe I didn't have before, now that I kind of know what I'm going for. All right, shall we try this again? Let's try it again. All right, here we go. Folding it upwards. I wonder if it works better when it's just sitting on a table. You'll have to comment below and let me know. All right, let's try it. Let's make it second time's the charm, right? Okay, here we go. Whoop. Let's see. Okay, a little bit better. A little bit better. All right. So there we go. There you have it. Now, always I tell you that with any sort of painting or drawing that you're doing, you do really want to let it sit and dry, because what you'll find is even the silhouette down here may come out a little bit better just from drying. But let me know. Post it on Instagram and tag me. Show me how this lesson worked for you. All right, my friends, thanks so much for stopping by. If you're interested in any of my art kits or my sewing kits, all my links are down below, and I'll see you back here soon. Talk to you soon. Bye.